Good morning, everyone. It's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean, and we're mostly going to lay on the floor today, and we're going to use some of the Dyna Bars for today's LIIT workout. But let's get started like we usually do with some sort of a march or just some sort of movement. I'm so proud of you for coming and joining me today. I know that getting up early the day after Thanksgiving or just getting up to exercise in general on any day can sometimes really be mostly a mental struggle. So props to you for getting up. We're going to do this. We're going to lay down on the floor and we're going to feel our best. So we're just starting with some sort of engaging movements to get our blood flowing before we're going to make our way down to the mat. I'm adding some kicks. I'm adding some taps and whatnot. Maybe you have some music playing and you're getting your dance on at home. I encourage you to do any or all of those for a couple more breaths, and then let's make our way to our mats. Woo! And get down onto the floor. However, you need to help or get yourself down onto the floor. No judgment. Take your time. Be smart for yourself today. We're going to stick with our usual timing. So we're going to get 4 rounds of 4 moves. Optional to work for a full minute, or you can work for just 40 seconds and take a 20-second break. I have these Dyna bars of some varying weights, and I got some actual dumbbells nearby just in case I need something different for myself today. But we're going to go ahead, have your either bars or belts nearby, lay down on your back. Draw your knees up to your chest nice and wide and take a moment to just gently rock a little side to side. We're just trying to get a little bit of like an imprint in our mind and our body into our mat of our spine. Once you feel like your full back is nice and flat on the mat, you can make some circles with your knees in one direction, massaging your low back and sacrum because you're worth it, and then make some circles with your knees in the opposite direction. Woo! And then release your feet to the floor, maybe one at a time, and we're just going to stay right here. So we just want our backs to be nice and flat on the mat. If you want, you can even do like a little pelvic exercise to press into your feet and squeeze your glutes and lift your glutes and low back off the mat intentionally for a moment, and then relax and release that down, and then lift your low back intentionally off the mat for a moment and then release that down. And now hopefully you have your whole spine flat on the floor. Cool. First move that we're going to go for today is a chest press. So I'm going to drag my slightly heavier weight here to the party and find a nice big press from the chest. So you can find this big press whether you're using a Dyna Bar or whether you're using dumbbells. Let's go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1. Begin. So back of the head stays down on the floor, a little even tucking of your chin towards your chest to make sure your chin is not stretching up towards the ceiling. And with your exhale, you're pressing forward. If you do not have weights and you do not have anything that you can press up towards the sky, you can even do a little push up, whether you're doing a push up against the wall or a push up against a chair. We can all be stimulating the same muscle group by finding this press of the chest. Yay! I wish I'd take a break, a slightly heavier Dyna Bar, but that's okay. Our next move is going to be a lat pullover. So we're just going to bring this weight all the way up overhead, and now I want my lighter weight. I sure do. All right, so I'm just going to bring this bar all the way up overhead, and then bring it right back up over my chest. We do these lat pullovers a lot with just dumbbells in your hands. Bringing your hands a little bit closer can also make this feel a little bit more in control than when your hands are a little bit wider, which is true even here with the Dyna Bar. So just be smart for your body and the range of motion that you're able to enjoy or employ. And you can have your legs bent, a little extra challenge with your legs straight Oh my gosh. Yeah, great. We got 20 more extra seconds. Keep that low belly pulled in and your back pressed down to the floor, whether your legs are straight or bent. Our next move is going to be a glute bridge. So I'm putting the weight down. I'm switching back to my heavier weight. Knees are bent this time. Exhale, squeeze your glute, drive your hips up. Inhale, slowly lower down as your bum is about to touch. Exhale, find that squeeze and drive once again. So if you're holding onto dumbbells, you can place those dumbbells at your hips. If you're holding onto the Dyna Bar, you can just keep that Dyna Bar from rolling all the way up towards your chest. And I'm trying to stay up a little bit higher, really using the full length of the exhale. Inhale to lower down. Ooh, you can take a break right here at 40 seconds. I'm going to give myself this delightful break. And our next move is going to be skull crushers. I'm going to switch back to my slightly lighter weight above the head. All right, so this time we're just going to bend the elbows. The weight might come to actually the top of the head, or it might come towards your eyes, depending on where your hands are. So you can either get this little bit of a French press seaming motion, or you can increase the angle of your arms. Here we go. We're already doing it. Hopefully you got started when that beep began. Give you some delightful demos here. So typically, if you're holding onto dumbbells for skull crushers, your palms face in towards each other. So if you're holding onto this bar, you might notice it's a slightly different range of motion. Maybe you're not able to go as heavy. There's your 40 seconds. If you want the break there, take it. Otherwise, keep going for 20 seconds, and then we'll come right into our chest press once again. Oops, I lost my earbud. So I'm going to put my skull crusher weight down. I'm going to find my earbuds so you can hear me. Bam, grabbing my heavier weight, back to that chest press. So remember, you can keep working continuously or just work for 40 seconds. It's really going to depend on how heavy your weight is today. If you have a very challenging weight, take those 20 seconds and take a break. And if your weight is really light, perhaps just keep going. Still using the exhale for the more challenging part of the motion. I'm going to put my Dyna Bar down, and I'm going to grab some weights for the lat pullover because I feel like that was a safer, smarter way to engage for me. I really feel my lats working. Here we go. So that lat pullover. So remember, you can have your hands separate or you can bring your hands together for a little bit more control. I'm going to keep my hands together because I went for a heavier weight here. And remember, you have that option also to straighten your legs out. I don't want my legs to be straighter with this heavier weight though, but it was nice to increase the challenge when I didn't have the heavier weights in round one. Ooh, really working to try and tap the floor. Awesome. You can take the break here or keep going. Our next move is going to be the glute bridge again. I'm going to focus a little bit more on the hamstrings this second time around for the glute bridge. So bringing my weights to my hip creases, bringing my heels further away from the center line, digging heels into the floor, toes pointing up towards the ceiling. I'm still going to exhale, lift up. Not going to come quite as high though. Inhale, lower down. And if you need to, you can actually rest at the bottom. Or as soon as your glutes start to touch, exhale, find that drive back up towards the sky. Ooh, constant tension into those hamstrings. I'm taking a break here at these 40 seconds. I'm going to put the weight down and prepare myself mentally for the French press or skull crushers again. Just taking a few breaths before we get started, or you're still going. Let's start that tricep move. So still make sure you're using your breath. Make sure you're not holding your breath, that your weight's not so heavy that you're not breathing normally. And be careful. It's okay to gently touch or tap your head. Just be mindful of where the weights are, of your proprioception here. Be smart for your body today. You need to take some extra breaks. Take those extra breaks, especially if you're tired. Maybe you've been traveling lately. There's the 40-second mark, optional 20 seconds of additional movement. Ooh, my triceps starting to get tired. Great, back to that chest press. This weight's a little too light for my chest press. So just being honest with myself, easiest thing to grab and keep going are these dumbbells, and that's totally okay as well. Just a bit of a different range of motion with the dumbbells than with the Dyna Bar. Dyna Bar is more similar to a barbell. With the dumbbells, as my hands come down, my arms can do a lot of their own things. But with the dumbbells, with the barbell, it's a little bit more of a controlled range of motion because your hands can't separate on the barbell on the way down the way that they can with the Dyna Bar. We got a couple more breaths here, and then we're back to that lat pullover. Round 3 of 4. Here we go. So turning my palms towards each other since I'm going to use the weights for the lat pullover instead of the Dyna Bar. I'm bringing hands, palms together for a little bit more control with the slightly heavier weight. Remember, if you're still using the Dyna Bar, good for you. If your weight felt light, you can extend your legs long. Moving with control here. Low back still pressed down to the mat. Awesome. We got 20 more optional seconds if you want to keep going. So we got a nice straight arm for the lat pullover. It is a similar range of motion to the tricep extension / skull crusher, except in the skull crusher, the only thing moving is your bending arm. We got our glute bridges coming up next, right now. Coming back into the traditional glute bridge, I walk my feet in a little bit closer, just taking some variety, and that's also what helps to remind me that we are on round 3 of 4 right now. Just working, doing your best here. Once again, as my glutes are about to touch the floor, I use the exhale to find that powerful drive back up towards the top. I'm going to take the break here at 40 seconds, but you're welcome to keep going. And then we've got French press or skull crushers. I'm just setting myself up in the position and taking a big breath. Here we go, finding that French press or skull crusher. We got one more round through after this, but I don't want you to particularly save your energy. I want you to keep bringing your all, the best that you can for each round. And if you need to take a couple extra breaths or a break during this round or the next round, fine. But I would rather you bring it all towards the floor and know you did your best here, right now, as opposed to the workout finishing and you saying, I could have gone a little bit harder. Now, that does not mean that you have to endlessly give 110%. You just have to work smart for your body today. There's your 40 seconds. If you want to take a break here, you are welcome to. I'm going to get in a couple more reps and then switch to that slightly heavier Dyna Bar for this last round of chest press. Here we go. So back of the head is still pressed down towards the floor. Make sure your chin's not stretching up towards the ceiling. Low belly pulled in. Great work, everyone. So proud of you. Here we are. We're at the office the day after Thanksgiving. Do, 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 do. But I'm so glad that we're working out. Honestly, endlessly thankful. There's your 40 seconds. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. Last few reps for me before switching to the dumbbells, which just seems a little bit easier and for me to control at a heavy, challenging weight for this lat pullover. Ooh, I'm feeling those triceps working too in the lat pullover. Feeling it from all the other workouts of this week. Great work. We're almost there. As soon as we finish this move, we're halfway through our last round of the day. And then we still get to get together this afternoon for some yoga. Great. Stop here if you want or need. You're gonna put these weights down, switch them back to the Dyna Bar. We've got glute bridges. All right. Go for that sort of between space of a little hamstring and glutes this time. So my feet aren't quite as far forward as they were in round two, but they're not quite as close in as they were in rounds 1 and 3. And to work the hamstrings a little bit more, heels dig into the floor, toes pointing at a diagonal to the wall. Now make sure your chin's not stretching up towards the ceiling. So still trying to get as much of your spine, including the back of your head and neck, flat on the floor. Awesome. There's your 40 seconds. Gonna release down, set myself up for our final round of skull crushers, full spine flat on the floor. And then arms up towards the ceiling, maybe at that angle, just bending at your elbows, and then straightening your arms right back out. So either whatever angle you decided to choose or back up towards the ceiling, but as your arms come out wide, don't let your elbows flare out. The only thing moving really is your upper arm bending and extending. This is like the bend and snatch, but for your triceps. Ooh, triceps. Yay, 40 seconds there. I'm gonna go for 3 more reps. Awesome, you can keep going to finish up that minute if you would like. Otherwise, we made it, everyone. Go ahead, cross your palms. Stretch your fingers up towards the ceiling. Nice big stretch into your back. Awesome. Open your arms wide to the side walls. Press the backs of your shoulders into the floor. A little bit of a stretch into your chest. Bend your elbows. Point your fingers over your head while still pressing the outer edges of your elbows into the floor. Even more of a stretch into your chest. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, relax, release. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Stretch your elbows down towards the floor. Squeeze your inner thighs in towards each other. Keep finding this big stretch, knees coming towards your chest, chin tucking towards your chest, back of the head on the mat, elbow stretches down towards the floor. One more big deep inhale. Exhale, release the soles of the feet back down. Let's roll on over into tabletop. Give ourselves some cat-cows, stretching through the back and the shoulders, creating some stretches into your chest, into your low back here. Take a full minute here to shimmy your hips side to side, to pull your chest forward, to find the rounding and the arching and the stretch that your body wants and needs today. If you need to hang out in one particular spot for an extra moment or breath, then please do. In fact, take as much time here as you need. However, unfortunately, that is all the time that we have together for today. I highly encourage you, especially if you have not been getting any of this upper body work, to create a little extra stretch. Take the time for yourself or come back this afternoon for a little bit of yoga. If you're not sure what additional stretches you might want or need to do after today's workout, then please reach out to myself or any of the fitness center staff, and we will show you some things that are smart and wise for you to do for your body today so that you can come back and join us tomorrow. All right. Have a wonderful rest of your day, your weekend, your week, depending on what time you tuned in. I can't wait to see you soon. Until then.